Today marks the fourth day in a row Denver has seen record-breaking heat. It's good in some ways, right? Bad in the others. Good for folks getting out and stretching their legs, making the most of spring break and the sunshine at Sloan's Lake this morning. Thanks for joining us tonight at 5. I'm Jennifer Meckles. While the heat is nice, it's also raising fire danger across the state. We saw several quick start fires that crews had to get on top of very fast. Denver firefighters fought a brush fire at 48th Street and Monaco a little before 3 o'clock this afternoon. South Adams Fire was there helping them out, and they had it all under control within about an hour. In Lone Tree, South Metro Fire Rescue got a fast-moving brush fire under control very quickly. They're mopping that one up now. That fire grew to about 20 acres and no buildings were threatened. Lots going on in the weather department. Jaden, hello. Nice to have you with us in the afternoon. Catch us up on where we are with record breaking at this point.
Well, we already broke that daily record of 78 degrees set back in 1995. We're currently at 87 degrees here in our 9 News Studios backyard at the airport. 86 degrees, a lot of the upper 80s all across. So there's that daily record. As I mentioned, that was set back in 1995. We're currently at 86 degrees. We're still hovering very, very closely to those low 90s. So I don't think we're going to hit 90 degrees, but they still have that opportunity to see it. Here's current temperatures across the entire state so far. There's a 90 out there towards the eastern plains, Ray at 93 degrees, and then down towards the southeast plains, 93 in Lamar, 70s and 80s currently in the high country. So these are some record-breaking temperatures really all across the state. There's that red flag warning. That's going to continue until 10 p.m. this evening, and we're going to start to see those winds start to ramping up just a little bit as we head into the early parts of tomorrow morning, as we are tracking a front. So there's your cooler temperatures as we head into tomorrow, the upper 60s, but then the 80s quickly return as we head into next week. We'll have more details about that later on in the show. Jenny?
Right. Jaden, thank you. Most of Colorado is under some kind of red flag warning today, including Boulder County. Again, the 11th already this year, and more than some teams see in a full year normally. 9 News reporter Ria Joss spoke with firefighters about the toll this winter is taking.
It is hot here in Boulder. We're at the Boulder Reservoir where people are running, biking, and even the paddles are out and ready. But here, the shovels are ready. For wildland firefighters, this weather means more staffing, more overtime, and honestly, anxiety. Wildland fire crews in Boulder,
helmets and gear and things,
are ready to go.
Anxious. It just makes me anxious.
Chief Brian Oliver doesn't normally work Saturdays.
I'm staffing for the red flag warning, yeah.
But because of today's red flag warning, he has to.
This high pressure system has been completely unprecedented, as we've never reached 90 degrees in March before in Colorado. So it's way out of the norm. We know what the fire behavior is going to look like if we do get a start. It's going to be hard to control, so it makes us all anxious.
That anxiety has been a constant this year.
And then we've had 11 red flag warnings to date in 2026. A typical year for us is somewhere between 8 and 10. So we're already over average, and we've not even finished March yet.
Every one of those warnings means more people and more hours.
I couldn't even tell you how much overtime we've paid out already. We do what we call upstaffing. So we call in overtime and put crews on those wildland pieces of apparatus specifically throughout the duration of those weather warnings for a total of 15 more people on the shift.
And with 11 red flag warnings in less than 3 months,
that fatigue continues to just build and build and build. Everybody in this building is exhausted.
Call it the red flag fatigue.
And there really is no significant break in the next 10 days. So until we get measurable precipitation, the red flags and the high fire danger and the elevated response posture is going to continue.
Until the weather changes, the warnings and the workload aren't going anywhere.
Take it one day at a time. We just keep marching. It's what the community pays us to do and what they expect.
The chief is continuing to remind people that are recreating today or just in general to be safe, follow best practices, and just avoid any behavior that might start a fire. Reporting in Boulder, Ria Jha, 9 News.
Ria, thank you. There are still several evacuation and pre-evacuation notices in place for the fire that's still burning down in Fort Carson. Highway 115 nearby also still closed as crews got ready for this weekend's hot and windy temperatures. Fremont County Sheriff's Office says an evacuation center is set up at Pathfinder Park in Florence. This fire burned more than 1,000 acres already. Nobody has been hurt and no buildings have been damaged. Castle Rock Police and the Douglas County prosecutors are now asking for help finding a convicted sex offender. The DA's office said 45-year-old George Campos did not show up to court to hear his guilty verdict Friday. He cut off his ankle monitor, and now they can't find him. The DA's office says he repeatedly assaulted a child from 2021 to 2023. We heard from the DA's office today. They have found his car, but he is still on the run. Campos faces mandatory prison time. If you see him, please call 911. Denver police are investigating 2 hit-and-run crashes this weekend. One happened this morning around 5 o'clock on eastbound I-70 in Havana. That crash involved 4 cars. 1 person died, another was taken to the hospital. We do not know what led up to that crash, and there's been no suspect information released. Denver police have also issued a Medina alert for a hit-and-run crash last night. 1 person got seriously hurt on a scooter. This happened at 15th and Market. Now police are looking for a black 2018 Nissan Maxima 4D, similar to the one you see here on your screen. That is not the actual car, of course, just an example. The plates on the car they're looking for, YWY89. DPD says there is damage to the driver's side rear door. If you see this, oh, I'm sorry, I'm going to read that plate for you one more time. CYWY89. If you see the car, please call 911. In Golden, a crash between a cement truck and a box truck shut down Highway 6 for more than 6 hours today. Happened around 8:30 this morning and shut down the highway at Johnston Street because of a hazmat spill. That took crews until 2:30 to get the spill cleaned up. Jefferson County Sheriff's Office did not say if anybody got hurt. The body of a Fort Carson soldier killed in the Iran war is now back home in Kentucky. Sgt Benjamin Pennington was injured back on March 1st during Iran's retaliatory attack in Saudi Arabia, and then the 26-year-old died about a week later. His body arrived at Fort Knox yesterday, and his community there in Kentucky honored him with a procession. He was laid to rest today. Back here in Colorado, Democratic Governor Jared Polis has ordered flags to fly at half-staff in his honor through sunset tonight. Tomorrow, after more than a decade leading the Archdiocese of Denver, Archbishop Samuel Aquilla will lead his last Mass before retiring. Aquilla was installed as Archbishop back in 2012. After 49 years as a priest and 14 years in that leadership role, he has requested to retire. He did so in February. At the time, his successor was also announced. Bishop James Golka from Colorado Springs will now take over.
This morning, the Archdiocese of Denver was blessed to receive from Pope Leo the appointment of my successor. It is now my pleasure to introduce to you my brother and friend, Archbishop Designate James Golka.
Aquila's last Mass is tomorrow afternoon in Littleton at the Light of the World Parish. Mass starts at 2:30. Aquila's last official day is Wednesday. Former Tattered cover CEO Kwame Spearman is now leaving his new bookstore project just a month after it opened. The Denver Book Society got a lot of blowback from the public over Spearman's past, his treatment of staff as Tattered cover went bankrupt, his support for ICE immigration enforcement when he was running for mayor. Spearman ran unsuccessfully for mayor in spring of 2023 and for Denver School Board the fall of the same year. He drew criticism for saying Denver should resume cooperation with federal immigration agents. Well, now Denver Book Society says Spearman is no longer involved with the business, and they've apologized to the community. Spearman told Westward he'd always planned to leave after a month. President Trump has gone back to his original stance of endorsing a Republican congressman in Colorado. First, Trump-backed GOP Representative Jeff Hurd, then disowned him and offered support for his primary challenger after Hurd voted against Trump's tariffs. Now Trump is back to supporting Hurd again. Hurd is a freshman Republican in the Western Slope seat once held by Congresswoman Lauren Boebert. He crossed Trump when he opposed tariffs, so Trump denounced him and unendorsed him, then turned to endorsing Hope Scheppelman. On Friday, though, Trump abandoned her, went back to Hurd, and says he'll give Scheppelman a job in his administration.